So here we are. We are just down from my caravan park site, right down there. And this is Great Yarmouth Sand Dunes, or Great Yarmouth Beach, but this is what we call the sand dune area. Technically there are two beaches in Yarmouth. One side of Britannia Pier is the sand dunes, and then the other side, leading right the way down to the quay, is technically sand, like actual sand that you can build sandcastles. This is more like a conservation area kind of sand dunes for the birds and that. But here we have the Norfolk coastline, and this is Great Yarmouth. If you haven't already seen my previous videos of my caravan, the park, where we're staying, the entertainment, do check them out. I will link them in the description, or they'll pop up at the end of this video. We are walking from here to Britannia Pier. I don't know if we'll see any boats or anything interesting, maybe find a seashell, I don't know, jellyfish, who knows. But we're going to take a leisurely walk and do some filming, film the waves maybe. I don't want to get too close to the water because I honestly don't want to get my feet wet. But these are the sand dunes, which house quite a lot of wildlife. Bugs, rodents, birds, nesting birds, especially during the summer. You've got the Great Yarmouth, if you can see them, I don't know if you can, the Great Yarmouth wind turbines that help power Great Yarmouth. And obviously Great Yarmouth, being a seaside complex, uses a hell of a lot of electricity. Hopefully you can hear me with the wind. I'm going to try my best. Unfortunately, I do not have a giant squirrel by the side of my head. I am filming on my phone, so we're going to play it by ear. But here we have the beach side. It's not usually busy down this end of the beach. You get some of the people down there from the caravan site that pop along for walking their dogs, mainly down this end. Quite often dogs will come down this side rather than where people go down the other side. That way they're away from the kids who are maybe building sandcastles, and you know, it gets quite busy in the summer. Obviously you might find some seaweed, might find some shells, might find a mermaid's purse or two if you know what they are. Apparently there's been jellyfish before along the North Norfolk coast. I myself have never seen one, but there are jellyfish, mind you. We're going to go a little bit further in. We're not going to go too far because I honestly can't get my trainers wet. But listen to that beautiful roaring sea, and the sea is quite rough today, mind you. But with the high winds, it's expected. We had a hailstorm the other night. We were coming back from the night's entertainment and there was a massive hailstorm, and we were caught in the middle of it, between the entertainment and our caravan. So that was great fun. Down that way, you can see the two pointy things. That is Great Yarmouth Quay and Dockside, which is right the way down the other end of Yarmouth, but you can see it for miles. Out to sea, you've obviously got a couple of buoys. Not many ships today. Yesterday there were tons of ships going in and out of port. Today is obviously a Thursday, so maybe it's because of the rougher seas, maybe there's not so many boats out today. And honestly, with the storm the other night, I was surprised there were that many boats out there yesterday, but there were. So, I don't know about you, but my favourite thing at the beach is just listening to the waves. I'm not a big fan of swimming or building sandcastles. I collect shells occasionally, but it's the sound of the waves. It actually puts me to sleep. So, if I drop off camera, I've fallen asleep. All jokes aside though, the ocean itself is a mighty force to be reckoned with. As you can see, it's very grey today. Sun is over there, It might be showing a little darker than what's on my camera, but the wind, that's definitely how windy it is. So yeah, we're just going to walk along and appreciate nature, the water, and like I said, the sand dunes. You can walk in the sand dunes, but by golly, it's a workout on those legs. You're up and down and up and down. And also with the amount of wildlife in there, like rabbits and stuff, got to be careful for holes. A lot of holes in there as well. And like dips that you don't see, so you could easily fall over in there. But a lot of people walk their dogs in there. Out this way as well, I don't know if you can see it right on the horizon, but there's a tiny piece of beach and it's called Scrappy Sands. And during the summer months they have the mating season for the seals, and you can go out there by boat and you can see all the little pups and take pictures, and it's like an amazing thing to witness. I myself have never done it, but during the summer months when they mate, there's a boat that goes out there. I think it's twice a day, a couple of times a week, and you get to see them and all their little baby pups in like nature without like disturbing them too much, obviously, because seals are very territorial with their pups. There's a couple of beaches along our coastside where you get the seals actually come up on land, and they actually produce their pups on the beach during the summer months, and they have to kind of caution off the beach because there are stupid people out there that go to interfere with the pups and try and take pictures up close. And seals are so territorial with their pups. They will attack you. If you go for your pup, they will attack you, and by golly, they've got some weight behind them. So do remember that if you're going to see the seals, you gotta respect them. Respect the fact that they're having their babies, they're having it on the beach, and to remember to keep your distance. Yes, take photos, but there's no need to get up close. Try and stroke the pup, you know, be sensible. I know there are a lot of stupid people out there, and if you go online, there are a lot of videos of people being stupid. But please, try and respect them. But yeah, beautiful beachside. You go right down there. I myself, not a big fan of water. I have to admit, not a big fan. But it's beautiful, nonetheless. So, as we walk along the beach, we're going to come into view of Britannia Pier and the rest of the town. You can see the quayside right there, although the quayside is a massive area of Great Yarmouth. But as we come over the hill, you're going to see the Millennium Wheel. You're going to see the giant tower in the centre, where it used to be a viewing tower that you could go up. And then you're going to get glimpses of Britannia Pier, which is where we're heading. But hopefully, you've heard me. I am trying my best. It is so goddamn windy. I'm going to have such a headache later on, but it's going to be worth it. From here, you can also see Wellington Pier, which before there was a massive fire many years ago, which I was actually alive for. It burnt down, and when they reconstructed the pier, at the back of the actual pier, you have some of the old pier that they kept, but they decided that due to cost effectiveness, they weren't going to build it back out to sea, which is a shame, mind you. An absolute crying shame. But obviously, you know, money and the upkeep of a pier due to the erosion, the tides, the weather conditions at a beach, they're obviously not sustainable money-wise. But yeah, we're going to come into the tail end of Yarmouth. So obviously that goes right the way down. This way, you go to the centre of town, where you've got shops, amusements, restaurants, a bowling alley, there's a cinema, there's live entertainment venues, you've got the circus. You've got so much of Great Yarmouth that you can't see in one day. In my eyes, to do Yarmouth justice, you could do with a week, just to experience everything it has to offer. They also have a sea life, a model village, 3 or 4 golf courses for kiddies. They have a new Marina Centre swimming pool being built, which should be finished by summer next year. You've got the amusements, obviously, plenty of food and drink places, plenty of gift shops if you go down Regent Street, where you then hit the main town, where you get your traditional shops like Boots and M&S and all that kind of thing. And then down Regent Street, you get all your little independent sellers, your little buckets and spades, your little trinkets to take home like souvenirs. You can see rock being made at the rock shop. It's a quaint little town with a lot to give. It does get a bad rep, mind you. Does get a bad rep, Yarmouth, for having poor hygiene, not enough jobs, a lot of people are on the dole. But I have come to Yarmouth for 35 years of my life, if you don't want to count COVID. 34 years of my life, so I've come every year without fail on holiday, or at least to visit Yarmouth each year. The only year I didn't was when COVID hit, and then I've gone on holiday the next year, so beautiful. And then, like I said, right the way down there, is the pier, and that's where we're walking. It's quite a long way, isn't it, from where my haven is down there, which you now can't really see, and that is where we're heading. It's taking forever because my feet are actually aching. I've done this like 4 days in a row, backwards and forwards, right the way up to Haven, and it's not good on your legs, I tell you. But we'll come slightly inland because the wind's hurting my head just a little bit. But as it's like stony gravel sand, it can be quite hard on your feet to walk. We're going to come away from the water just for a little bit because the wind is actually hurting my ears. It is so cold, so cold. But we're going to keep walking and we're going to make it. We're going to make it, people. But yeah, it's kind of like a shingly beach, as you can see. It's like stone and sand. The other side of Britannia Pier is mostly sand, and then you get more of the shingly stuff when you get down, but the sand dunes are just this side. Like I said, it's more like conservation with the birds, insects, and it still means that dogs can come to the beach. They're just sort of separated for, I guess, hygiene purposes, or to keep their mess one side. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying this video. If you have, make sure a big thumbs up. But yeah, it's been a lovely holiday. We've done 4 nights and then we go home tomorrow, and and then I've got a weekend off before I'm back to work. So I get a couple of days at home to stick my feet up and recuperate. So not bad. Like I said, a lot of people bring their dogs here. It is a really nice beach for them, where they can, you know, have a run around without having to worry. Some people will throw a ball down the beach, and with it being this side, they can do. Generally, the other side of the beach is more for like tourists, holiday makers without their dogs, and they do try and keep them separate, because during the summer it does get really busy, and it's kind of nice not to have to worry about the dogs. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful coastline, and we are still quite a way from the beach, or from the actual from actually getting there. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video, and then I'm going to film a bit further down so I can walk a bit further, and I'll be back shortly.